So it's setting up, creating the instance for me, and we're going to get right into we're going to only work in Zesty, which will be cool to see. We won't be working in an IDE. We'll be using an IDE that's built into Zesty. All right, so once it's created, I'm going to click open my content manager. And I'm going to open up my preview. These are the only things I'm going to need to work. So preview should say blank or slate homepage view, so it's showing where to edit that, so it literally has nothing. So we're going to load that there and move preview here. And I'm actually going to set up my workspace with preview to the right and Zesty to the left. Cool. And I'll squeeze this over. Okay, so we're in a empty instance in Zesty, so we're starting with nothing. And what I want to do first is ingest inject is the better word I'm looking for here. We want to inject the Bulma framework. So I'm going to say Bulma CSS. And what we're looking for is we're going to go to GitHub, and they have a link to, there's two ways to do it in Zesty. We could install the CSS, or we could reference the actual, what they have in JS Deliver. So if we look here, so we can start with JS Deliver just to get going with it. And we're going to click in the here, and then Bulma CSS, I believe it is the link we need. So there's a couple ways we could do this. I'm going to go into settings and head tags, and we're going to add a head tag. And it should be at the bottom, and it's going to be and what's the head tag? The attribute, it's going to be a link. All right, so REL is style sheet. And I think it's source. I'm going to Google this, but that should be it. And then I don't need these extra ones. I guess media could be all, but I'm just going to get rid of that. I think it might be href. So let me just confirm. Link style sheet. So what we're doing is we're creating a header to link to the style sheet. I always forget because I don't do it a lot. So yeah, it's href and rel style sheet, so I had it right. So we're going to create that head tag. Head tag's created. And it should automatically really change. So there you go. You can already see the CSS taking over. So we just effectively installed Bulma by adding a style sheet in the header. And if we view the page source, we should see it right here. So you can see it's right there. Perfect. Cool. So now Bulma is installed, and we can start getting to work on our homepage. So in Zesty, in this particular starter, homepage doesn't even have a single field. So we're going to click over to schema, and we're going to add a field called title. And if anyone is watching along and has questions, I will make sure I have chat open to check out chat. So we're going to have title for the homepage, and we'll do, I guess, a description. So we'll just add a WYSIWYG and description, add a field, and then we're going to go edit it. So go to edit items, click here. So, and I'm just going to name it Bulma, simple blog starter with Bulma. This is example starter template on Zesty that uses the Bulma CSS framework, and I'll link to the Bulma framework. Save. All right, so we just created some title and description, and now if we look at our homepage, it's not going to show anything because it comes very bare. So we're going to jump into code now, and I'll walk through with the things in code. So there's loader, homepage, which is going to be associated to our homepage. These are kind of the key ones, and then a 404 page. Those are kind of like the default. This CSS comes with blank slate less, so you can actually write less and use variables here. And then there's the main JavaScript as a default, and this Zesty, which I don't think we need this anymore, so we should remove this from blanker slate. I'm going to make a quick note of that so we don't forget. Remove. This is zesty.js. Change blank slate. .s. It's okay for now because we can delete these and rename them. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it because I don't want it in my template. So when I'm finished with this, whatever exports, we can export into a zip is going to be exactly what gets installed. Let's go to the home page, and we're going to use the Bulma docs as examples to start building something. I think they have some sort of, they have container, so layout container. So I'm going to straight up just start copying some of these examples. I'm going to delete what was there, hit save, and refresh. All right, so now we have a container centered for larger viewpoints, and that's a notification. So in Zesty, I can just straight up say this.description, right? Because that's what I have access to. Refresh, and notice that it's loading my description with the Bulma link now. And above that, and I know some Bulma, so I'm going to start with an H1, and inside of that H1, I'm going to use, this is Parsley. I'm going to type this.title, and I can make this bigger so we can see what I'm programming. It will probably mess our interface up a little bit, but let's go like that. So using Parsley, and that's this.title. So this IDE is the same IDE as VS Code. So you can do things like use Command D to highlight like things. So if I want to change this to like an H2, for example, H1. So hit save, and we'll refresh. So now we get simple blog started with Bulma, and this isn't a container, so it should adjust. Yeah, it is adjusting. Cool. It's adjusting. And this H1, the thing about Bulma is like it doesn't assume anything, so you have to be very deliberate with your class names. So if I have an H1, I have to literally say title. Now I have a title. Cool. And so this essentially is my home page. I have a div, which is a WYSIWYG. I have it in this notification box, I think, which is okay for now. And then below, I'm going to have called like my latest blog posts. So I'm going to create an H2 class, and I'll say title. And Bulma has something where you could say like, I think is 4 or something, so you can denote the size you want it. So it could be like is 3, is 1, is 2. So up here for title, I believe I could say is 1, if I remember correctly. And that makes it bigger. And then this one is 2, so I'm going to say my latest posts. Right, so because we're going to make a blog. My latest post, cool, and it makes it smaller. Awesome. All right, so now we need to create articles in Zesty, and I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. So this is our home page now loading, and we're using Parsley, and it's connected. So we're going to jump into schema, and we're going to create a new model. This is, will this be a public web page and need a URL? Yes. Will this have multiple entries? Yes, because it's going to be articles. So display name is going to be articles, and there's not going to be a parent to it. It's going to parent to the root. So I'm going to create model now. Awesome. So what's an article have? Well, it's going to have a title, and we're going to have a body. And we'll have an image to start. So we'll do media, say, so just call it image is fine. All right, so now we're gonna go create our first article. Articles, and create article item. And then you see we have a place to do it. So I'm going to my first blog post, and I'm going to what is it, Unsplash I think does cool images. Unsplash images, like free images that we can grab. That's probably not the right way to go. Unsplash, beautiful free images and pictures. So let's grab something abstract. City? That's kind of cool looking. I don't know what that is. That's cool. Ooh, volcano. This is cool. It's upright though. Let's go for something that is wider. That's Seglafoss. Look at that. That's Seglafoss in Iceland. I've walked under that. Something wide. All these are in an upright format. There we go. Perfect. Okay, cool. So this one looks good. I'm going to download, or somewhere download free. They're going to make me do something now. They made it nice and simple. Thank you. Thank you for making that easy. I'm not going to change the title. That way we call them out. So I'm going to copy that here. So what I did is I had that in my downloads and I just dragged it into the interface. Select it like so. And then I need some rich text. Rich text lorem ipsum. Let's see if we get some rich lorem ipsum. A generator that doesn't suck. Cool. Let's just go with all the cool stuff. Look at all these options. A block quote. We're going ham. Ooh, code. Where's the code? There it is. All right, copy the clipboard. Cool, and I'm just gonna cheat it right in here. So we're gonna go into code mode and paste the source because I know that's how that's working. All right, cool. Create my first blog post. Done skis. Look at that beauty. Now in Zesty, without using Next, just pure Zesty. If I go preview, Zesty's gonna do something smart where it's gonna output. It automatically outputs it, and this is called auto layout, which is kind of nice. So we could just get away with using auto layout, but we could also do it custom as well. But let's just wait. It looks like it's generating the image for the first time, so we're taking a minute here. But we'll close out our lorem ipsum and unsplash. Yeah. And notice how like the order it spits out is the order of which it's in. So if I want to go blog post image. And I want to use this auto layout, and I'll show you what auto layout is. So we'll go look at code, and we'll go articles, and it just says this auto layout. So this can also connect to the auto layout tool in Zesty, which is really cool. But for now, we're going to leave auto layout because I think it's fine. But we can go into schema and look at articles and just change the order of image to be second, and it should change the way it's loaded here, which it does. Perfect. So my blog post. The issue with auto layout though is that I can't actually control. There's a few things I can't control, like the title here. So auto layout's going to automatically apply CSS and PAL text. So it automatically applies this PAL text. To make this Bulma, that's where the issue lies. This Bulma is not going to automatically apply to an H1. So pretty much I want to copy this, so I'm not going to use auto layout here because I want to use Bulma. So we'll go through the process of what that looks like in Parsley to set that up. So let's jump into code, and when you create a model, it also creates a view file associated with the model. Now if you're working headlessly, it doesn't matter. It'll have this, but you don't need to use it. But since we're going to be working fully in Parsley, and Zesty templating, we're going to use it, and it's really fast to work this way. I mean, there's advantages to building Next.js, but not everybody has a team of developers to work in high-level JavaScript and React. So let's just drop an H1. So we're making our blog. We're going to say this dot title, right? And you notice how it's helping me autocomplete what I have access to. And then right below, I'm going to go image, source, and simply this dot image. And then to get an image in Zesty, you have to say get image, like that. And that's going to get the URL. I close my Parsley tags. I'm going to give it alt. So we want to make sure we have alt text. Say this dot title, and I'm going to say, I'm going to cheat with my alt text title. You know, blog image header, or blog header image, right? Get my alt text in there, close my tag. And then I'm going to open up a div, simple div here. And inside that, I'm going to this dot body to get my body text. So this should give me something very similar to what I see here. And I'm going to remove auto layout and refresh my blog post. It should look very similar, and it does. So now we're going to go ahead and get some Bulma going in here, which really is just about adding classes. So we're going to get a container in the mix, div, and save that. And now you should see this wrap here. Cool. And Bulma has, again, you gotta, like, if you want a title, you're gonna have to be deliberate with the class. I don't use caps. Title, save. Reloaded the wrong thing. Cool. So now we have this here. So I think Bulma has a way to handle. I got the media object. Let's see what this looks like. Images, components, let's say, drop down menu, message, modal. I feel like Bulma has some sort of content. I think if I just type like this, if I go class equals content, I think it applies everything. Let's see. Yeah, nice, it did. So beautiful. Cool. So that's the cheat inside of Bulma is class content. And if we go to homepage, I'm going to go ahead and add, I'm going to add content to this description as well, because this was also WYSIWYG, just to make it clean. All right, awesome. So we have our blog post decent. We have it in a container, and we have our homepage. So if we want to load latest blog posts from the homepage, so we start generating links to those. That's what we're going to do next. So we're already in homepage. So in Parsley, you can iterate through by typing each, and I can say articles as article. And that's going to create a loop, and you can write anything you want for HTML CSS inside the loop, and I'll show you how it's referenced. So each article, and we'll just like do it real simple. We can say H reference for opening our anchor tag, and we can say open up Parsley article dot title A, and then for the H reference we're going to say article dot get URL. That's a function call. Save and refresh. Let's see if I wrote it right. Each articles as article. Saying that correctly. Articles. Let's see. Let's go like this. Okay, so I think I need to do and each. There we go. I had an error there. Okay, there's my first blog post right there. Cool. So cool thing about Parsley is you can access, like this is getting the title. I may not always want the title, so I may want the meta title. And I believe I can just say SEO meta title right here. And that's going to give me my meta title. So this is the same as my current articles. Let's just jump into articles, my first blog post. If I go SEO and meta, excuse me, because I'm looking at Zesty in a funny size, this is going to be the meta title. So that's okay, my first blog post. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that as my first blog post, but I'm going to go ahead and edit the article so the title is something different. Like, this is my first blog post. I'm so excited. Just can't hide it. All right, so now if I refresh, notice that my first blog post still has the meta title, and if I click into it, you're going to see a different title up here. So very cool. We have our first blog post and homepage, and we're iterating through the actual articles. So we're going to go ahead and get back into code, and we need to have a header and a footer. And how we're going to do that is loader is kind of like your application shell. current view is going to load the thing that's relative to loading. So in this case, you know, this is loading article, this is loading homepage. We can make a file. We're going to make a snippet, and this one's going to be called header. And we'll throw another container around it. I guess I can't call it a container. It's the div class container. Div. And let's go ahead, and why we're using Bulma is that they have a navbar here. So we can just steal one of these, and there's a simpler version of the navbar. Let's see. Is that one? Let's give them a little more space to work here. Something don't look right. All right, so we're gonna go steal one of these up here. So steal, grab the code of. So look, navbar is fixed. Has fixed top. Cool. Let's see what this looks like. That's a lot of code. Let's copy it. All right, cool. So that's going to be navbar is transparent. I don't think we need a container there. So we're going to create a header for navbar. Let's just hit save and see what it gives us. Nothing. Why? Well, let's go in the loader, and now that we've created a header, we need to write our parsley to include header, and that's all we need. And let's refresh. So this is going to include the header on every single page. Should save header homepage articles loader. Let's see. There it is. Oh, I just scrolled away from it. Okay, it's hiding up there. Cool. So now we have a header. Very nice little navigation right here. So let's go edit our header and get rid of a lot of the stuff we're not going to use. So we could just call it home like this, right? And then let's see, there's a download and a tweet button. Let's just go ahead and ditch the tweet button and say, try Zesty today, and we'll just go to our www.zestio/join just to let people. And then so this is loading Fontawesome, and it's trying to get Fontawesome, so we're gonna get Fontawesome going on this, and say Fontawesome 5 maybe. I'm not sure which one is the latest. Make you pay for Fontawesome. How do we use it for free? Start. Send code kit. Other ways to use websites, apps, uploading. Come on, Fontawesome. On websites. Start with a kit. I don't want to do that. I want a hot link. Give me a link. Oh man, it's funny how these frameworks, they've become businesses, and I'm proud of them. Good for them. Use a package manager, host yourself. Get started. All right, so I'm just gonna go Fontawesome JS deliver 5. Let's see what we get. Fontawesome. So you got to find these things. They make them a little bit harder to get after because they're building a business around it, but we can get this minified version right here. And we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to go in settings, head tags, make this wider, make this not so big and obnoxious. And we're going to add a head tag, and it's going to be a link, and href is still there, rel is there, so it's going to be rel style sheet, and href is going to be the Fontawesome create. Cool, new tags created, and then we should now have access to that, and the header. Let's see, there it is. All right, now we have icons. running. And we look at page source and see we got Bulma now and Fontawesome loading. We're using Fontawesome 4, I guess, so okay. I guess we should denote that. And we will in here. So we'll say, uses the Bulma framework, right? And we'll also call it out with Fontawesome 4. Fontawesome 4. Alright, I'll just put that in there so people know. Get that published too. Alright, so going back to it, we now have Fontawesome loading and we have some sort of header up here. And then the home page should link to his home. So now I'm going to say, I want to turn this docs, I think it's a nice drop down, into latest articles. Right now we only have one article, so we're going to jump into, we're going to add another article real quick. So let's go back over to Unsplash and let's go find another image. Ooh. There we go. That seems cool enough to me. All right, download free. Cool. We're going to create a new article. Create new article. Say, the city is beautiful at sunset. I spelled beautiful right. All right, and let's copy in the city is beautiful. Let's go grab our beautiful. Let's see right there. Load selected. And you know what, I'm gonna call out, I think you're supposed to, nothing so far, share. I thought in Unsplash, like you're supposed to say, I thought we're supposed to call out who it is. Available for hire. Let's say photo by, yeah, I'll just say photo by. There we go. We got a link to her, calling her out. And create. All right, and we got articles. Let's make sure we get this photo in. Looks like it's loading. Cool, photos in. All right, so now we refresh our homepage. We're gonna see city is beautiful in my first blog post. So what I would like to do is I'd like to change this docs drop down. We're gonna go into code and look at homepage, and we could just reference this homepage each loop, right? Because that's what I want to grab. So I'm gonna straight up copy that. I'm going to now go into header where my homepage is, where it says docs. To say, I'm gonna say latest articles here. And then if you notice, they have, it's a very simple format for each one of these. I'm gonna go ahead and just delete all of them but one, and I'm gonna leave that one as my reference. And I'm gonna paste in my each loop like this. Just make sure my tabbing's clean, because this is gonna be a template we use. And so the key things is just, it's straight up, it's just the class. Bulma is nice and clean like that. So my H reference is already there. Oops. Nav our item. I don't need that. Cool. Save. Refresh. Now I have latest articles, and it shows my 2 latest articles in the dropdown. And as I add articles, it's going to add more. So if I want to limit them, I can. I could say limit 6, limit 5. So now it'll only show me the latest 5 articles. So it is technically latest articles. So now I have home, and then I can get to my latest articles like this. It's loading a big image. I should probably set that image to crop up. All right, so let's do that. Let's make the image not so big, because it's probably loading a very nice large image. We're also going to copy in some lorem ipsum to that page. So let's first get some lorem ipsum on it so the page looks more complete. And we'll just steal this one, I guess. Copy. Save. And I need to make sure I call out the other person who made that other image. Christopher Rolando, he was. I want to make sure that these people are getting credit for the images that we're borrowing. Where are you, Mr. Christopher? There's Seglafoss. It was beyond Seglafoss. What did we copy? I don't remember now. I think it was a desk or something. Oh no. Oh no. Can't find it. There's just like a clean desk here. Let's go look. Just like this clean little desk picture. Clean desk picture. Where are you? Clean desk picture. Alright, if I don't find it here shortly, I'm gonna need to use a different image. Let's see, sorry Christopher. Maybe I type, what was it called? Should I be able to find it like this? Let's see. If I do it like that. Let's see if I can find his picture real quick. Oh man, he's got a lot of them. And the clean desk image isn't even there. Photos. What? All right. Photos. All right, we're getting this butterfly photo. We're changing up our photo. Cool. We're going with butterflies, and then we'll properly attribute this person to their butterfly photo. And let's make sure we get there. This person here. Photo by. There we go. Cool. Make sure people get credit. And then I'm gonna go ahead and delete out this one. Even though it looks like a nice clean desk, I'm gonna delete this image. We just have our two desks. Cool. So now we have two articles that have lorem ipsum and images. So photo by Kelly Riggin, great, thank you. And my first blog post should say photo by Says Cranen, I don't know. And then that should link to their Unsplash, which is great. Cool. All right, so latest articles are here. Limit 5, homepage here. I guess we could leave this logo. It's not too bad. Try Zesty today. It's gonna open up join. Let's see. All right, go here. I'm gonna clean up this. This is what I want to look prettier. So I'm gonna go on the Bulma, and I want to say they have like some cool media components. Layout, media, object, like that. Isn't bad. No, that's kind of for commenting. Container. I have heroes, which are cool. There's a hero with an image example. I think there is. Components. Let's see what we got for cards. I guess this one is interesting. So let's just copy this card, and we're going to show an example of how we can get this format going as a card. So we're going to jump in the code. And we're going to go to the home page. So home page is looping through article here. And we can just paste this here. All this card code. And I'm going to clean out the stuff I'm not going to use. So time is fine. Content's fine. I don't really have an author here, so this media one doesn't work. So, and then the image we do have, so let's fill this out. So And then we want this to be 1280 by 960, which we can get away with doing. So we can simply do article image.getImage. So there's two ways to modify image sizes, and I'm going to use our on-the-fly image optimization. So W equals that, and height equals that. And that will give me the placeholder image. And again, you can make your alt tags more relevant by saying something like article.title image. And then for content, if we don't want to, like, there's some clever ways to do this with Zesty. So for content, we can just take a snippet of our body. So we could do something like article dot body dot, and you could do subwords, and we could say like 0 to 40. So we're going to get 40 words. That might be too many. And then we can have a link at the bottom that says something like read more. Let's see. I feel like we could have one of these footers. Just snag this and put it here. Will that work? Yeah, I just do that. Let's see how that works. And we're gonna say read more. And we'll take this example we have here, paste it here. So I'm setting up the links, and did my card have a title? It didn't. So I'm gonna take my meta title here. I'm gonna leave it in this anchor tag, and I'm gonna say, I wanna say there is a card header somewhere, card header. Card header, okay. So what I'm doing is just like applying the Bulma style directly in. Put that in the card header, and the eighth, I'm gonna put this H reference twice, so it could be like read more. I click this, that way it has a relative link. All right, so card content has a header, has content, there's some sort of break there, it has a date time, you can get a time too. Let's see, like this, and article dot, I'm going to say it's created. Cool, save, and that's the card cutter and each. Let's see what happens. Beautiful, giant cards. So Bulma has, so it looks like the card came out the way we wanted it to, but the issue is one, the header is outside, is inside content, so we do want to fix that. And now we have header there, cool. And then it's just too big. So we're gonna go ahead and tab that in. So I want it to be inside columns, and I want to say, I know this from when I used to play with Bulma quite a bit. It's columns. So we're closing our columns, and then this and each we're going to tab in for legibility. And I'm going to write a comment too, so like example. And then each column. So since the columns are going to be in an each loop, this is where we'll have the opportunity to say like div. I want to say its column is 3. I don't know. I'm going to look it up. I'll try this first and then I'll look it up. Something of the sorts. Oh no, it's like is like 1/4. Something strange like that. Is 1/4? Let's find out. All right, let's save that and see what happens. Oh, we got it. So that's it. Nice. All right, so article bodies, subwords. Doesn't look like it worked out very well. So subwords. And the created at loaded, so we get the timestamp in there. Awesome. And subwords is going to be, is it sub_words? I don't think so. No. That's, hey, we got our first parsley error. It's telling us that subwords isn't a thing. Dude, is what it's saying. We could say substring, which will give us like the first 100 characters. Say, let's refresh. Alarm ipsum. Oh, I wonder if there's some spacing or something between. Let's see what happens if we try that. Yeah, there might be something funky with our body text, which it probably is. All right, cool. So there's our latest post loading below. Read mode. Read more. Let's see if our links work. Read more. Cool. All right, so we're going to add some custom CSS here because, well, one, I don't love what's going on here, and with the header, I feel like there just needs to be more space. And all this should be mobile friendly too, right away off the bat, which is pretty cool. Bulma's definitely nice. It's nice just to like launch with Bulma, get it going. Alright, so what we're gonna do is, I think in Bulma you have access to like margin top 5. I think that should do it. And that should push it down. That did push it down. Cool. I don't know how far we can go, but so here's another really sweet thing about Zesty and the loader class is I can remove container from my home page, right? And it's gonna go all over the place, right? As it should. But then I can go in loader and I can wrap current view in my container like that, right? And now container is gonna wrap everything, which is super sweet. So now I have container wrapping that, and if I go to an article, it's gonna be double containered, which I don't think is an issue, but we're gonna remove it anyways, so you don't need to. Keep it nice and simple. Like remove the double container. Remove that too. Okay. And refresh. That should be in a container. Now, if I want to control like that margin top 10. I don't know if 10's even an option in Bulma. No, I think like 7, 6. I don't even know. There you go. That gives me a little bit of a margin now. Cool. I'm gonna go back to my home page, and it should match the same margin, which is really nice. So one thing, just to be consistent, I used title is 1 up here, and then on my article I used title, and I didn't use is 1, and I want to be consistent, so it is 1. Cool. So I've got my home page, and I can click into latest posts like that. Cool. So what about a footer? Let's make a footer. So we're going to create another snippet, and we're inside a code. And let's just call this file footer. And we're going to wrap this in a div with a container. And Zesty has a couple cool things to do, but essentially I think we're just gonna load this notification thing as the footer. And I'm gonna make space for footer. So I need to go in the content, and Zesty comes with clippings, which are these globals that you have access to at all the time. So the site name is going to be like Bulma simple blog starter. And there's a place to put a logo here too. Free. I guess we should just use the Zesty logo. Probably. Brand.zesty.io. That'll be simpler, and I don't have to rip off somebody's logo. Just go ahead and snag that like that. Go ahead and upload it. Zesty logo. Load. Save. Cool. And then I'm going to show you how we access this for editing the header. Since we're jumping around a lot, notice how the logo is just loaded in here. Now we can say we have access to that as globals or clippings. I'm going to say globals dot, I think it's site, I think it's just logo, dot get image. So it should just be like that. And again, we can use the OTF and say like width equals 50 or something. And then for the alt, we can actually get our title name in there. So we say globals dot, what are we calling this? Site name, I want to say it was. All right. Oh, and the width was here. So width was 108, height was 28. So we're going to go height 28. Pretty much just going to go 28, 28. I think we can get away with. Let's go look. Boom. Cool. We got the little Zesty logo over there. And latest articles. Cool. So that's now loading from the globals. And why I showed that is going back to the footer is that I'm going to go in the schema and I can edit my clippings. I'm going to add one called footer. It's like a WYSIWYG, and I'm just going to call it footer text. Add field. Looks like there might be an issue with adding footer text. I'm not exactly sure. There we go. I guess that it didn't like my footer text. I think it might already exist actually. I need to clean that up on this template starter. I do, so I'm going to take another note of that for this blank slate starter. Fix footer text. And why it didn't create was there was already something called footer text behind the scenes. All right, so footer text. All rights reserved. That's it. Save. Cool. All right, back in the code. Footer. This is going to be my footer text, and it's going to be globals.footer. That's what we called it. And now, if I refresh this, I should see a footer. No footer. Is it in my loader yet? It's not, so I'm going to say include footer. Refresh. Boom, my footer. All right, so in my footer, I'm going to do my margin MB. So MB is margin bottom 10, and MT is margin top, and I think it goes up to 6. I think. Save, refresh, and I'll just give a little bit of spacing down there. And Bulma lets you, I want to say change this. What am I using? I'm using a notification. So I go components, form, elements, notification. I want to say this ability to get like a gray one, like colors. Yeah, right here. What's this? Is link is light. Let's try that. Is there a gray? Is primary. Is link is light. Refresh. Nice. Okay, cool. And then I want to center this. So I want to say has, it's like has text align center. It's right. That that didn't work. Let's go look. Helpers, typography, is size, whatever is, has text centered, has aligned center. I failed. Fail. All right, let's see now. Boom. Cool. All set. All right, so we have a simple blog now. So this is, I think, a really good starter to jump into Zesty. So this is what we got for the simple blog. So thanks for tuning in. Hope that helps. Team, if you have questions about this, but it's a good place to start. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy your day.